teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. We're back with Chantal. She's done 2 live streams since I last uploaded. We've got Coffee Bees. She also had one called like a big breakfast or something along those lines. It was only 20 minutes long. There's one point, we're not going to react to it, but there's one point I'll add at the end of this, and she ate some lemon meringue pie. And that's basically all that happened in it. So save yourself the 20 minutes of your life. But let's get into this one.
They have a new cold brew.
Good. How are you?
Good.
Can I have it? I'm gonna try the venti chocolate cream cold brew.
So this is what I'm wearing today for makeup. Some nice lashes.
I don't hate this. She's usually very, very heavy on the makeup, and this is quite a light look. Now, she can handle heavier lashes here because when you have fake hair like this and like that, where it's quite a defined color in this way, it can handle a heavier makeup look. So I really don't mind this. I think for her, she's looking quite fresh-faced.
And the wig. You like the green one?
I like this color. Guys, I kind of want it. I did try to see, because I know it's just a cheap wig. I'd obviously never wear it as a school thing or anything, but you know, I wear cheap wigs. I'd like to try this one. I think the color is cool. I couldn't get it though, unfortunately. I did look for things that had delivery by tomorrow, because it was yesterday when I was watching this. I was going to wear it for the react, but they just don't have it in stock. And I'll do it as a joke on the cheap, but I'm not importing it from like America at the cost it would take. So here we are, but I don't hate it on her. And I didn't hate, this is a green one. I didn't hate the blue one on her either.
Digressing with the payday loans. You guys always tease me about that, so.
Oh, in her comments, she had put a joke about, I got a payday loan so we can bees. And I was like, you know, the reason half the people don't take this as a joke is because you are ridiculous with money, and that's going to be a big talking point with this react. But the fact that people find that so believable, ask yourself the choices you've made.
You like this wig? It's the same style as the blue. I actually I'm going to be setting up an Amazon thing to have links to stuff I buy on there because people ask me and it's just easier that way.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think she'll do it because it requires a modicum of effort. But she could put affiliated links down below. I mean, I'm sure Amazon does have that affiliation program so that when people buy, you get a little kickback. That would be great for her. It's passive income pretty much. All she has to do is put the link there. And if people like it, they'll buy it. So I'm surprised, given how much stuff she buys. I'm a little bit surprised she hasn't done it before, to be honest.
No, Nancy, I'm not picking up matter. I don't know. I'm going to be doing something, but I'm probably going to go, no, who's next? Well, I have used payday loans before, yes.
Yeah. I don't know how long ago this was. I've got a feeling it was quite a long time ago when she wasn't earning that much. I think maybe when she was at call centers with Pete's, if my memory can be trusted, which it can't always be. But when she was working with BB before she was living, I believe, off the settlement from leaving that job, she was quite well paid. Now, as we know with Chantal, being well paid doesn't mean financial security for her because she doesn't plan her money well. But payday loans, like, I don't judge people for using them, because when you've got no choice and you need the money and that's the only option you've got, I get why people do it, but they're such a terrible idea. The interest is so high. If you have to, you have to, I get it, but she doesn't have to most of the time. Like, most of the reason she needs things like that, all of the reason I would hazard to say, is that she just has managed money terribly and then been like, crap, I'm short.
Bad with money, like, you wouldn't believe it.
I'd believe it.
$800 in like a day.
Yeah.
Just like.
I've seen her buy computers. I've seen her buy $2,000 computers on a whim. Yeah, going in for one thing and coming out with something twice as expensive. Definitely she could spend $800 a day. She's talking more on like food and weed, which I would also say was completely plausible. But yeah, her discussion around money is going to be a big one here.
Dinners, drinks,
yep,
edibles,
yep,
anything. I need to go to shopping rehab too. I'm just addicted to everything. I just need out.
That's actually true. In terms of when she said she's addicted to everything, in the sense of addiction is usually doing something for the addict. It's not necessarily doing a good thing for the addict, but it's patching something somewhere in your psyche. It's filling a hole somewhere. So until you start dealing with the reasons you're addicted, all you're going to do is switch around. If you take away one thing and get off one thing, you go on to another. And like, you have to deal with those underlying reasons why you're addicted to whatever the substance is, because there comes a point where the substance doesn't matter, where it shifts, and maybe now it's sex, and maybe now it's food, and maybe now it's spending, and maybe now it is a drug, and maybe now it's a person, and maybe now it's all those things. She never deals with the underlying reason. So the most she can hope to do is push it onto something slightly less damaging.
Just need general help. Like, is there a general helpline if you're a messy human?
It's a
that you can just
therapist.
call and be like,
A therapist.
I need help.
A therapist's office. That's who you can call.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Although, speaking of the financial stuff, you can get financial advisors, and you can, I'm sure, well, I'm not sure for Canada, to be honest, but I think that's gone quite away from where I started, hasn't it? I'm pretty sure the Citizens Advice Bureau in the UK, if you've got an equivalent kind of place in your home country, either has helplines about this and what you can do, or you can go and meet up with people and they'll help you out. They'll give you advice in certain areas. She could go and do this, but her problem generally is follow through. She gets told what to do, and because she was told, she doesn't want to do it. And with something like this, where it does involve a large life change that isn't that enjoyable, then to motivate her to go through with it is just going to be impossible. She has to be able to choose to do it.
Because if you have too many problems specifically, therapy?
Yeah, therapy.
Address the Austin's Beezer. He's going to the police. Where is Austin's Beezer? Is he in here? Although, last night you guys said he was mad, but I didn't see that. I gotta message him later.
See how she's now very concerned, and this is going to be an ongoing theme in today's live stream, how very concerned she is with everybody and everything, really. Austin Beezer strikes me as weird. Like, I wasn't really following him. I'd heard his name in her chat, but now relearning, because I don't know if I knew before, but we'll say relearning, that he called her and that's how they met. And now he's going to the police. What? About what? Why? Like, just take your hands off. Take a step back. You don't need to be involved. You know, there's supposed to be a line. There isn't in her case. There's supposed to be a line. And I feel like whoever Austin Beezer is, he is just jumping on over it. The line is a dot to him.
Honestly, Uber Eats is like double the price of like I'm gonna go pick up my paneer. I swear, like, you have to pay a delivery fee, then you have to pay a fee and a tip. So it's like $20 extra every time.
I can believe that. I can also believe it wouldn't stop her from using it 3 times a day. And actually, in the breakfast, she did, of course, order breakfast. So she knows it, but she's not doing anything about it. But, you know, she's got an endless money tree, so it's fine, right?
Why can't you eat? I'm giddy. I know I'm hyper, you're gonna get it.
She is not hyper, and we're not going to get it unless she, you know, rages out again. This stream gave me very much vibes of someone who is being forcibly cheerful, because she knows exactly where she is with the audience and she really wants to move on. So she's forcing this hyperactivity. She's forcing this, hey, and this attitude. You know, when you've had an argument at home and you're in kind of the aftermath where everybody's pretending everything is normal when actually it's awkward as fuck, and you're just really hoping to get on past this? This is what she's doing. She's like, I'm just gonna steam on past this and hope no one stops me and we don't have to fight again, because I'm ready to let this go. Because she's always ready to let it go when it stops serving her, but when she's annoyed, we all have to take it.
I just feel like there's a lot of like weight off my shoulders. Like a lot of shit's just been, you know? Okay, so I know I've driven you guys all nuts this past year with all the back and forth and beezing and everything.
Past year, past day, all of it.
But can we just beeze? Can we just have fun?
No, that's what she wants. She's like, can we just essentially wipe the slate clean? Because, you know, it's not like Nada's still in the picture.
And just all forgive each other for all the wrongs we've all done to each other.
Yeah, forgive each other for all the wrongs we've done to each other. To each other. Excuse me, ma'am, was I drinking rum punch with you in Cuba? I don't think I was. Was I calling your members pieces of shit and blocking them? I don't think I was. I think the apology should rest much more on Foodie's shoulder, but there we go.
And just be one big happy family?
Nope.
We're not enabling people. We're all human. We're all capable of making changes in life.
All of us. We're all human, guys. And if you judge me for being human, isn't it your problem?
Right? I should walk. I know. Well, it's getting. The thing is I wanted to wait till it's nice out to go walking, but now that it's nice, it's too hot.
This isn't a surprise. This is exactly what happened. Was it last year or was it the year before? I feel like last year, because do you remember at the very beginning, before all the Nada stuff came out and he was going to be the one to help her get fit and healthy? She was like, when it's warmer, and then she was like, it's too warm. She does it every year.
And that even goes for people who told me to kill myself in my DMs. I forgive you.
She forgives you, so you have to forgive her. The onus is now on you. And if she can forgive someone as terrible, who the fuck is DMing her to kill herself? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Rethink your life. But whoever did, if she can forgive that level of fuckery, then really aren't you an asshole if you can't forgive her? Look how generous she is being. You can't respond with equal generosity. Well, I just feel sad for you.
Happy pills. Medication.
And look, guys, I'm back on my medicine, just like you said I should be. I'm taking my health seriously. Can't we just start again?
All right, let's go get a chicken burger and money. No, I like to have some cash because some guy came up to me.
Was that guy Nada? Okay, she does prove that she does this by stopping to give some to a lady who she said had kids. I'm glad on behalf of those kids that the lady got some money. The idea of having cash in her is something she has said before. She said she likes to keep it. And we've always been like, oh, this is a bit of a flex. But particularly when Nada was around, she liked to keep a lot of cash on her because he's an expensive little boy.
So for those of you who are wondering, my income's like half now.
But, you know, keep hitting up that ATM. Income. Income is such a topic with her. So the thing about her income, she's bandied about some wild numbers from like 3,000, which is nonsense, to 50,000, which is also nonsense. Yeah? Here's what we know about her income, more than like looking at, say, my back end and being like, well, if I can earn that, then she can earn this, and da-da-da-da-da-da, because things vary a lot in how they're paid and why they're paid and how much is shown. You don't have direct correlations between different creators that you can do. But we know when her DMs were leaked, she said something to the tune of, keep talking about me, I made 12K this month. I believe the number was 12K. Now, the implication of that was that 12K was not normal for her, that it was on the higher end of her expectations because it was noteworthy. Yeah? So I think for a while, I had in my head that she makes about probably 10K a month, and that month she'd made a bit more. Now, I can believe totally at the height of the Nada drama when interest in her was really high because she was setting the bar every time she came online for just nonsense, absolute nonsense, and drives into the night and live streaming and the police and the things. I can believe she got up to say 15, 20K. Now, when we do these calculations and we're like, well, you can do this, why can't you afford that? You should do this with your money. We tend to use the higher estimations because if she's going to bandy them about online to flex when she's lying about her income, we're going to ask her, why the hell aren't you using this for something sensible? But realistically, if about 10K was her base, which I could completely believe, and 12K was the upper expectation when the drama was just kicking off, I could believe that 15 to 20, I'd say she probably achieved 20 a few months while the Nada stuff was really raging. So if we use 20K a month, but between 15 and 20, yeah? That would mean if she's going on half because her channel was shut down for 2 of those weeks, that means she didn't get super chats because she wasn't doing members only lives. And during that time, memberships were put on hold. So a large portion of her income that she gets from there, I think she gets a couple of $1,000, $2,000 to $3,000 from her memberships, or she did at one time when she told us the number. I can't remember exactly when that was. Then I could believe her income going down to, if we take 2K off the general number for members, so that takes her down to 18 if we're looking at the upper end, and 14 if we're looking at the lower. So 14 to 18 becomes 7,000 to 9,000. Now that's still a lot of money. How much is that in the British pounds? Let me just check because I want to know what I'm talking about. So that's 4,400 on a good exchange, because the online one's always slightly higher. So 4,400, say, to about £5,600. It's a lot of money. It's a higher income, for sure. Yeah. But then we've got to look at her costs. Now, Chantal lives a very expensive life with very little planning. Even on her full, let's call it a salary, even on her full salary, her full payment, she struggles to get through the month because she goes through money like water and she spends whatever she has. Yeah, and she's confirmed that on many occasions. She's said she doesn't have savings. She's talked about her credit cards being pretty close to the limit. You know, she's got nothing kind of in the pot for later should she hit any troubles. Excuse the bug truck going past, it's quite loud. So what she gets a month is it. That's all she can rely on. Now, for any normal person, that would be a high income. They'd be really happy with it. But she is not used to having to think about money at all. She goes to a large effort to ignore money whenever she can, other than to flex with it. So as she said in a recent live stream, she was like, I just look and I go, well, I want this. Do I have enough money in the account? Great. And then sometimes I go, oh crap, because she doesn't plan for her money. She doesn't think about, okay, these bills need to come out. So if we take 7 to 9 and then we say, okay, say 2,000 for her rent's around 17 something, I believe. But if we top it up, she's got to pay utilities as well. So if we said 2,000, 2,500-ish, because I know that she had a ridiculous electricity bill at some point, or was it water bill? It was like $400 or something ridiculous. I can bet she did nothing with that. Did not follow it up. So 2,500, let's say, for expenses in the villa, yeah? So that puts her down to, what, let me do math, 4,500. Wow, that should have taken me less time. So when you look at $4,500 just to essentially spend in a month, that should be enough. But she spends, I would say, easily $3,000 a month, and she's confirmed that number a while back. $3,000 a month on Uber Eats, and that's what she was talking about here, about Uber Eats is more expensive, and with the cost of gas and things, the delivery is only going to get more expensive, I would assume. So then she's down to $1,500, and she's still not putting away money for taxes. If the tax man comes for her now, oh holy God, she's in trouble. Because even before the last deadline passed in terms of her filing late, a while ago I did a video on her finances and I estimated what her tax bill might be based on a few basic facts. Now obviously there's a lot of leeway in those facts, but it was a big old bill, and that was assuming that she was only 1 year behind. Now officially she's going to be 2 years behind, and the fees and fines double if you're in the second year. So the higher end of my estimate will now apply. I don't think the money she has, even if you just take food and no other spending, which is clearly not, we've seen her unbox stuff. It's clearly not the only spending she does. Like, that's not going to cover, I think, her tax bill even for like this year. Because when she was talking about, oh no, I'll get the taxes done ages ago, and she was like, I'll throw 2,000 or 3,000 at it a month. Suddenly she's not going to have that 2,000 or 3,000. It's not as easy a fix as all that. And she's registered as a business in this time, so there's more reason for the Canadian Revenue Office to be looking and going, hey, my dude, you did a thing, give us money, you know? So even if we don't take her outlandish spending habits to her, like, she's got a lot of stuff going on and she's not going to stop herself from spending. She might show us one grocery haul from a slightly cheaper stall, but when you look at the stuff she does, and she's driving around getting Starbucks and stuff now, like, she needs to make drastic cuts and she needs to do a spending tracker so she can see where her money's going. She needs to put a realistic budget in place, and not cutting everything down to the bone, but a realistic budget. And she needs to follow it, and she's never going to do any of that. But I tell you, when the tax man starts calling, and yes, this might only be a 1 month thing because this was the month she lives off where, like, she only had half the videos, but interest can, is, and will turn. And then what's she going to do? Because those taxes aren't going to be held back forever. What's that phrase? The only definite thing in life is death and taxes. It will come to call eventually. And she is going to be in a position. Before, she didn't care because she used to get so much a month that you could afford to throw a 3,000 at it. She's not going to have that money, and she needs to be so much more careful than she's being. And she just doesn't care. And I think in the back of her mind, she thinks, well, I filed for bankruptcy once, I'll just do it again. Now, I don't know bankruptcy law, particularly in Canada. I've watched a few YouTube videos because I'm looking into budgets for, not budgets, I've got certain savings goals for next year because, like I said before, I'm going to have some of the things I was focusing my money on this year in terms of paying off are going to be done at the end of this contract. And so I'm looking really into investing into sort of my retirement and my future securities. And that's sort of putting money on my brain a little bit more, which is why I've been speaking on it a bit more often. If she tries for bankruptcy, based on some of the YouTube videos I've seen, but these are for Americans, so I don't know how it works in Canada, where it doesn't mean they just wipe out all your debt. There can be like repayment options with bankruptcy that you have to take. So, and especially with a bankruptcy in her history already, I don't know where that would lead her. I don't know if because she's done it once there'd be less leniency, what the terms would be. I'd be interested, if there's anyone in finance in Canada currently watching, I'd be interested to know what the laws are. Feel free to leave it in the comments. But yeah, I think she sees it as a get out of jail free if it all goes wrong, and oh well, I'm bad with money.
Since my channel got deleted, well, I got a bit of money from Twitch. I need to figure out Twitch. Like, I think I really want to do sleep streams. I want to clean my bedroom this weekend, get set up cozy, and make like sleep streams, because like sleep time for me is exciting.
Couple of things. One, it does not surprise me that sleep time is her favorite time. Two, it doesn't surprise me that she'd want to make income while she was asleep because it requires no effort from her. However, there's a couple of things that I feel are going to stop her from maybe cashing in on this. Like, I don't quite understand on a personal level the attraction of sleep streams, but they're not for me. There's obviously an audience for them, otherwise they wouldn't exist. So clearly people do watch them. But because I don't understand what people get out of it, it's difficult to judge how successful she'd be. But I feel like a lot of channels that do that kind of thing, there's a very soothing, I picture it a bit like the ASMR crowd, where there's meant to be a very soothing thing with them. And it's like how mukbangs began as not as a mass amount of food, but as a way to give company to people who were eating alone. So maybe it's just that, maybe it's the idea that you're not alone in a non-creepy kind of way, although it is very creepy to be watching people sleep, but it's meant to be soothing in some measure. So she has real problems with her sleep cycle. I don't suppose it would matter in terms of Twitch or wherever, because you just upload the video and I guess people would watch it when they were sleeping, so it wouldn't matter so much. But I think it would hinder her doing regular content in this. And two, she's meant to wear her mask during sleeping, which I feel like if she's getting her room all cozy and she's trying to give a certain image, I feel like it wouldn't match it, you know? But who the hell am I? Like I said, I've never watched a sleep stream in my life. I don't know what the standard for that particular subset of Twitch is. Because, you know, like, if you look at all the different communities when it comes to certain types of videos, like for a while I used to watch a lot of Animal Crossing videos, and you watch a few gamer channels, and there's certain, not rules, but expectations set in every community. And something in me tells me that she would not be their standard. You don't have to be everyone's standard, but if you're looking into really succeeding in something, you've either got to work to make yourself unique in a pleasing way, or you have to do what's expected of the community really, really well. And I just don't feel like she'd fit either one of those, but she could prove us wrong.
I don't know, I'm not looking at the chat, by the way. I want to see what...
I am freezing it here because I don't know if you can see, but she is looking directly at the chat here because the sun is in her glasses. She's looking right at us.
it's like. My car's gonna fall apart. I think I need to go to Mr. Lube and ask the guy to check it out again.
Yeah, that'd probably be good. She mentions her car a few times in this stream, like she's been wanting to replace it for a while. Again, another big expense that she should probably take care of before it rots beneath her, because she relies on that car for a lot.
And I need to clean it out. It's horrific. I'm pretty sure there's somebody living in the back and I don't even know. I'm not even kidding.
Sidebar. My dad's car has an alert. It has like a dashboard computer screen thing that you can do all your music and all your settings and all your things from. It does the weirdest thing. When I get in and we drive off, it's all fine. And when you get to your destination and the car stops, it goes, check for people in the back. And I'm like, what? Now, there is the idea that people could be carjacking you and hiding in the back somewhere. Or I don't know, maybe mom's just forgot the baby. I don't know. But the intrinsic logical part of me says, why would you not warn me at the beginning? Because the chances of that person, hiding in a way I don't notice, you're going to wait until I take them home with me to warn me that they might be there? Why aren't you telling me this when I turn the car on? I still don't know if it would do me necessarily any good, but what are you doing, car? What was the logical thought process behind this? If there's been a person in the car the entire trip, I'm already fucked.
It's like a huge lump. How much is it to drink Starbucks every single day? I need to budget.
Well, the first thing I would suggest you do is not drink Starbucks every single day. If we work on an average of $6, which I feel like is a low ball because she doesn't always get one drink and it would mean her not getting a snack. I don't know how much this drink was, but I guess $6 Canadian, which I think when I looked it up came to like 186 a month. Yeah, that would be the first thing I'd say don't do. She's got a coffee machine at home and she bought those reusable K-cups, like make your own coffee. Or say, okay, I love Starbucks, I want to do it once a week as a treat.
I'm one of
like
those
what
people
my
that
hair's
like,
doing today.
if I go away for too long, I get homesick. Like I got homesick in Cuba, but I didn't have a choice. I couldn't.
How did she have time to get homesick in Cuba between the raging? Did she just want to be there to yell at everyone in person?
Just drive home. Like if I get homesick anywhere else, I can just leave and go home, and I do that a lot. Like yeah, so Cuba was like that was hard for me because I was like I was like legit looking at play. I'm like, am I gonna go talk to the Sunwing rep and make it a big deal to go home early? I'm in Cuba, just shut up and fucking enjoy it.
It would have been really nice if she'd done that. I'm not sure what she found so difficult about Cuba. I'm really not. Super triggered about Nada and Didi given the current events of the time. But yeah, she could have just switched it off and been like, screw everything, dude, I done. And it would have been fine. Like, oh, being in Cuba is so hard. It's really not. You're in a resort. Just relax, would you? The amount of rage she has in her person, just relax.
It just goes to show you if you're not in a good place, you're not going to escape your problems. They're going to come right with you and effing carry.
If only we had told her that beforehand. Yes, if the problem is you are where you are. And I've said that before.
What do people do nowadays? You have to hide all your social media. Like legit, if you go apply for a regular job,
oh, there we go.
With social media being so rampant right now.
Generally, people are less messy online, would be the answer, I'm guessing. I'd also guess that some people don't put their full name on social media, so it's not easy to find. But yeah, she is completely screwed. If she ever has to get a standard job anywhere, she is never gonna pass the checks, because everybody is gonna like search her name and just be like, oh crap. It's not like she's got to think of some alternates.
Like, I'm fucked. Like, I'll have to get a job where people already know me. So.
But then if they already know her, again, this is going to sound very harsh. If they know well enough to know her, who's going to hire her?
If I have to live off the grid, I will. I'm going to go off the grid.
I'm not sure she realizes what that means.
I don't think I would know how to live off the grid. But you learn. Like, you don't think that humans have any survival instincts?
I don't think she can survive really in a heated luxury villa, let alone in the wilds. But I tell you, if she ever decides, so what's that show called? Bear Grylls? Is that what it's called? Something along those lines, where they just chuck people into the wood and say, go and don't die. I'd be here for that. Oh, on one of those shows, somebody make it happen.
I might have plans with somebody tomorrow.
Nada?
No, not Nader.
Yes, Nada.
God, my whole life doesn't revolve around him, you know.
Let's see.
Maybe it did at one point, but now?
No, now.
I'm telling you.
Now. Right now. I'm not convinced that she's not going to see him right now.
There's a lot of me to go around.
BBW King, so what the news? Let the people come. So I don't need to repeat it because it's good news, by the way. I think tonight I will go have big fun.
I think tonight I will go have big fun. I think tonight I will go have big fun. Let's just see what Foodie's plans are.
So I see what's happened yesterday, and I was not receiving any paper or anything. And today I called the court. They received
this. Okay, guys, I said in my last video that I thought the letter was real. The more I think about that, the less certain I am about it, to be honest. I do think she's super lazy, but I do also think at this point they're working together in a way. Because the more I hear about it, the more I'm just like, oh yeah. Like somebody mentioned that, you know, there's been quite a famous comment going around, someone famous, you know what I mean. There's somebody whose brother works somewhere, if this is truthful, because, you know, it's a comment on the internet, saying that you wouldn't have received that from the police. And whether it's true or whether it's not, that does actually make sense. At that point, once the police had passed it to the Crown, you get the letter from the Crown Court saying that this is not being pursued. But given that Nader was actually arrested, he should have been informed that those charges were not going ahead. He is a party to this case. So it seems very odd he wouldn't have been informed, particularly as she's claiming that that letter has been with her for a certain amount of time. Even if he hadn't received it on exactly the same day, he would have received something. Now, he's obviously been in a different address, but he would have had to register at that address. If he's been with Dee Dee, he couldn't just pretend he was living in Gatineau. Like, he's on, I always get probation and parole mixed up. I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure it's probation. But he would have to inform them where he was. He couldn't just be off grid. He couldn't just disappear. So he would have been informed. And the idea that he could just call up and be like, hey, tell me about the case. Like, you can't ID people on the phone. So they're not going to give him information on the phone. He'd have to be informed officially. Now, I'm guessing he could go through whichever officer he works with in regards to his previous criminal history, and they could maybe find the information out. But the more they talk, the less sense it makes, you know? So I think they've both just spoken, and she's been like, you need to confirm this. So, which means if we're going on the working theory that the letter is fake, what a dumb thing to do. I guess because the only benefit would be maybe to get the heat off from the community, because the community proves that they were together, and that could potentially be very dangerous for them in terms of it moving forward in the future. So, oh, well, you know, it's already been dismissed, why even bother? But knowing the community for what it is, do you really think there aren't some diehards out there that wouldn't contact the police? I mean, I don't think they should do it, but come on, do you honestly think everyone's going to be sensible? Ugh. To the whole thing, ugh.
Things okay. Case closed, case dropped.
I just don't want to be, I hate being enemies with people. I like to be friends with everybody.
Yeah, she's shown evidence of that, yeah. That's a clear point of character we've seen in her history. That's what she loves, yeah? Or is this, like, half of the talk she does here, I feel purposefully, I don't know if she's thinking about it really hard right now or if it's just become second nature to her to do this, but you don't know at certain points if she's talking specifically about Nada or if she's talking about her audience or about other people when she's using words like we and us and you, because she's, I think, to the point where it's habit for her now, being non-specific. So when she's like, I like to forgive people, is she talking about us forgiving her? Or is she talking about her forgiving Nada for everything that she says happened? Or, you know, there's probably an element of both at this point, but she's just keeping it all open because she has no intention of stopping seeing him.
You know, when I'm in a crabby mood, I hate everybody. Everybody gets on my nerves.
Yep.
But
then you realize that gets expensive and you change your mind.
if there's anything I've learned about myself is I'm no angel either.
Generalize, well, I'm no angel, let's just forgive each other. Nah. She's tried doing a crappy apology that didn't mean anything and it didn't go down well. She wants to be sincere, which she never wants to be sincere. She's going to have to be very specific about the things she was wrong about, not the things we should consider.
Some weird, if you really think about it, it'll trick you right out. Like, we're all so connected in so many different ways. Like, somebody that I thought was like an enemy, a big enemy, like when you talk to them, you realize.
Tinfoil hat theory, I think she's talking about Dee Dee. I still think she's trying to figure out ways that if Dee Dee has to be in the picture, they all be together.
You have so much in common with that person. You know, like, it's just better to just be harmonious and no grudges. And maybe that's just why I feel lighter, just because so much shit has been worked out recently, and I just feel like I can just fucking relax.
I can't believe we hold on to grudges, you guys. It's so much better being mature like this. Like, she wasn't one who brought all this shit to her channel.
And I know I've shared a lot about, like, in detail about a lot of stuff that's happened to me the past year, or I've said a lot of shit. And
yeah,
I know
you
it's
have.
like, you guys are just like, well, what about us? We were here to listen to you and everything, and I appreciate that.
No, you don't. You cuss people out for asking you questions.
Because I'm so open, like, it's hard to just need privacy sometimes.
I'm so open and honest, and can't you just give me a moment to myself? Again, we talk about how she filters herself and the image of herself into her brain, but that's quite the recast of the reality.
You know, and it's hard to, it always looks like I'm being deceitful.
Because you're always being deceitful. You are planning to go out with Nada right now. You're always being deceitful.
You know, I don't know. And I have to remember too, you guys don't know what's going on in my head, and you guys really don't know things that happen behind the scenes, so.
Poor stupid us. We just can't understand. We understand more often than not, more than she does about her own motivations. Simply because we're not inside her head and we don't see behind the scenes. But we see enough to know that there isn't a lot behind the scenes. We see enough to know that patterns of behavior are frequently more obvious from the outside than they are from the inside. So the moment she started getting fully made up and dressed up and disappeared online, we knew she was at Nada's. But she doesn't think that way. No, it's all different this time. It's going to be amazing. We're going to get married, possibly in a threesome relationship, but we're going to get married and it's going to be amazing. He's going to change. It's never going to happen.
I try to be patient with people and
you don't.
Realize that you guys don't understand everything that goes on.
You don't care.
In my heart, in this cold heart, I can live or I can die. I want to audition for Canadian Idol.
I'm here for it. On the stage, can't make the note, slips into the Sam voice, watching the judges sit there and have to think of a way to put this somewhat nicely.
And you guys are extra bad. I've seen comments that people were writing hotel reviews.
That actually was very trolly, and I feel so bad for the hotel. Like, they don't have a clue what's going on here, and they're going to be reading their comments like, what? What?
This is not cool.
It's actually not.
Go make fun of my wig. I told you I want to be taken seriously today.
She wants to be taken seriously today, you guys.
Expect some respect.
Wearing those glasses and saying the things she says. I'm not coming for a wig. Quite literally, I'm not coming for a wig because it's not like mine's any more expensive. But I want to be taken seriously saying this shit, this absolute shit, wearing these glasses and smiling at you like I've never done this before to you. So take me seriously.
Everybody deserves happiness.
It's everyone. How can you deny a human being happiness? Because clearly I'm going to find happiness with nada.
Forgiveness.
And forgiveness,
You do
of
the
course.
crime, you do the time. And then you're, you know.
And then you're, didn't she say that about Karate Joe at one point?
Are you guys going to put me in BEEEEEEEZE prison? I feel bad because somebody came up to me and asked me for money.
I'll just go back to that. Like, that laugh was very nervous. You're going to put me in BEEEEEEEZE prison? We're going to move on from this, right? You guys, like, no, I know you're pissed, but shit-eating grin. You remember when she used to use that baby voice? I'm sorry. Because she knew she hadn't, and she stopped doing it with her audience because, no, we're past it. But she does it with Pete sometimes still.
And I don't have any. I didn't have any cash. Do you guys always take your receipt because you think that people are going to steal your money?
No, I have a button on the ATM, which I'm assuming is on yours as well, saying don't print receipt. Because one, they remind you it helps the environment not to waste paper, and then your details are never out there.
How much money do you guys have in your bank accounts?
Why? You're not just... Why are you asking people that? All that does is encourage people to put the number in the chat, because you know her chat mostly are not sensible enough to not do it.
Hi, Ashley! 38,000? Holy shit.
Also good. People are doing that now. Great.
Teach me how to save money, please.
Just invest it. Like, I know the stock market is terrible right now, but that's a good time to invest. But I don't want to, like, playing stocks. Could you imagine Foodie playing stocks? Oh, it'd be terrible. But start a pension fund, man. Would that be protected from taxes if they came for her and she had money in a pension, or would they seize it to pay? Not that she'd really have anything in there, but if she just got like a basic tracker fund, she got in now, she drip fed into it, like, it would grow, it would compound. She'd at least have something. She's got nothing right now.
So you think you can stomp me and spit in my eye?
I left that in there because when I talk about that kind of forced hyperactivity, I don't think this is a case of she's really this hyper. I think it's a case of she's really trying to force it to avoid more difficult conversations.
Oh my god, the Kia is hanging on for dear life here.
Well, let's hope you don't have to replace
Incorporate and
it.
get an attorney for my BEEEEEEEZE.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that won't make things more complicated at all.
I can't afford an attorney.
Nope.
You're crazy, but it's entertaining. Thank you! That's a positive comment.
Not really, but I suppose not negative either. Like, it's probably the best you can hope for at this point.
I unblocked Brooke. Where is she? Is she mad at me?
Is she mad at me? Probably. You were kind of a bitch to her. But this, I unblocked her. Where is she? No, I unblocked her so she can rejoin. Give me your money. Where are you? Come give me your money. You fucking blocked her, man.
I will die in this weather. It's hotter than Cuba today. In Canada. You know what? I think I'm gonna go start traveling north for the summer. Do people do that?
I feel like people should do that. If you can travel south for the winter, you can travel north for the summer. I miss cool weather. That was one nice thing about my really quick trip to England. It was normal temperatures. Not today. On Thursday, when I was doing my break duty at school, I put it up on Twitter, but it was like 38 degrees, feels like 41. I was dying, and it's gonna get hotter.
I'm sorry, Alyssa. Who wants an apology? I'll give you one. I'm feeling generous today.
Oh, you're feeling generous? I'm sure you mean the apology. Yeah, I'll sprinkle them out. I don't give a shit.
I'm sorry, Brooke. I called you mentally ill.
Oh.
I am too.
Brooke is back. Oh, are we really sorry for calling people mentally ill as an insult? Are we? Don't shame us.
You're right, Norma Jean. That wasn't very nice. I'm never doing a Cuba Rage again, ever.
She literally did one in the car yesterday. Although, are we talking about technical truths again when she won't be located in Cuba? How about just work on your anger management in general?
Can we go clubbing tonight? Like, for real, I want to drink and go clubbing.
Do you?
Like, I think in the back of my mind, that's what I had in mind, because I look like this. What do you think? No, I'm not celebrating anything.
I think tonight I will go have big fun.
Sounds like they're gonna have big fun.
Well, I was thinking, like, we could go clubbing live. What do you think?
Spoiler alert, this did not happen.
Clubs don't open until 10 to 11. John Doe, that's not what happened. I didn't give false statements. It's a little more complicated than that. But everything was looked at on all sides, and everything was dealt with behind the scenes.
Well, supposedly, so long as the letter is in question, we don't know.
Everything. I don't really want to talk about all that.
I bet.
I just want to move on, honestly. I am changed in a lot of ways.
Tell me the way she has changed, because none of the things she's about to say are true. Put it down in the comments. What big positive change have we seen from her?
I have a lot of boundaries as a person.
Where? What are her boundaries? Tell me.
I have before. I sometimes say things awkward, but I mean well.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't mean well, hardly ever. She sometimes means to smooth things over, but she does not mean well. She means to benefit herself. That is what she means.
About that. Oh no, Elle, I didn't mean well with that comment. That one I meant to hurt.
Oh, there you go then, isn't it? But, you know, all this, oh no, I have really strong boundaries, so it's going to be fine. Doesn't this talk sound familiar from when she was getting back with Nada at one point? She was like, no. I think it was after the truth of the abuse had come to light. And then she just, the first time she went back maybe, and she was like, no, I'm so much stronger now.
But now I mean well. Hi. Here you go. You're very pretty.
My God, she seems predatory there. Like, I don't mean intentionally. I don't think for a second that was her intention. I think that she handed out the money to prove to her audience that that's why she had the cash, to flex on how generous she is. That's why I think she did it. But you are presumably, if you're asking for money by the highway with your kids, you're presumably in a bad position. And I imagine there are lots of horrible people in the world that would take advantage of people in a vulnerable situation like that, whether their kids were there or not. So to have a woman show up in a car and be like, here's some money, you're very pretty. I know it wasn't her intention, but really?
Have a nice day. Bye. Yeah, at this point, I'm going to give my money away. I can't judge people for giving my money away for drugs because that's what I'm going to use it on.
That actually made me laugh. I was like, yeah, I've heard worse arguments.
Can I be the queen of anything in my life? Can I be the queen of lolcows? I need to be on top of something in life.
These are the ambitions we want to see.
Anything.
How about you make a plan and achieve it? And you could be. I mean, you're not, but you could be.
I need to be at the top of my game here.
Of what? What game are you playing? Tell me.
I ordered some resin, so I'm just gonna pick that up.
Did you issue your money? Not at all worried about the bills.
I don't go to my mailbox that often. Pete's usually, the mailbox you actually have to walk to, Pete's usually goes to them.
That does not surprise me.
I always go. We have a community mailbox, and then we have a mailbox where, like beside the house.
So it's completely realistic that that letter would have sat there for ages.
And so I just want to say, closing this, that
Closing this. Yeah, be the last time we hear about it.
that even though it seems like I've just been on a downward spiral,
Yep.
in some ways, yes.
Yeah,
things
lots
have
of
gotten worse
ways,
in my
yes.
life.
Yeah.
But through things getting worse, some things have gotten better.
I would love to hear them. Maybe, I can't remember if she says here. Examples?
Like I said, I've learned what boundaries are.
Examples? In what way? Please show me an example of boundaries at work in your life. Show me where you have set a boundary and you have kept to it. I have failed to see it. Does she just mean I didn't tell you I was going to go see Nada? That was a lie, not a boundary. Yeah, there are differences. And you were caught.
Learned
What
more
have you learned?
self-love.
In what way?
I've learned some people are just, you're just not compatible with in certain ways.
So I'll just take them to motels. It'll be fine.
And I've learned to be more tolerant of certain things.
What? More tolerant of what? Him screaming at you? More tolerant of what? Tell me, because you've been triggered real easily recently.
I've learned to be more forgiving. I've learned to...
When she wants forgiveness herself. This is a fun game. We should keep going.
that people, human beings are fucked up, man. We're all fucked.
All of us, everyone, we're all the same. And if we're all the same, who are you to judge?
And instead, if we can just all try to understand one another, you know, it'd be a lot easier for
I would argue my problem is that I understand her.
everyone. And just being negative makes things, like, your attitude on things can make a situation night and day. Like,
Hi. But also, please go look in a mirror.
for real, I'm not even, this is cliche, but I swear to God, all of your power to do in a situation is all in your mind. Like,
Didn't remember yesterday when she was like, I hate the word attitude. I'm going to block it in my chat. Oh, your mindset impacts things, really?
your mind is so powerful. And that, honestly, the human brain makes me believe in God. Because it's like, it's so complex. And I know it sounds stupid, but it's so true. Stop being manipulative. We all are manipulators.
Yeah, she's not joking that much.
You weren't showing that positivity in that story.
Thank you, whoever put that into the stream. You weren't showing that positivity last time. No, you weren't.
I'm having an awakening. Okay? Don't take that away from me.
Are you really? Sounds like the same old shit you've been shoveling for a while now, but maybe I'm wrong.
Have we switched to hallucinogenics? I'm on nothing right now except for antidepressants and happiness.
Sorry, automatic reaction. Yes, the wonder and love and respect and just pure completion of that night in the motel room with Nada, that I left early because I got annoyed with him.
I'm not even like fully happy. I don't think we're ever going to be fully happy.
The we here, I'm assuming Nada, but she doesn't technically say him, but I don't think we're ever going to be fully happy. Clearly to me signals their relationship, but she'll deny it later.
You know,
We as in a human race.
we're going to go to a bar tonight, I think.
Oh, and then this, and she's like, we're going to go to a bar. Could be the live stream that she said she was going to do. Could be Nada and her having big fun.
Does this wig look good? No, it doesn't. What about this? That's better.
I'm not sure the Pirate Queen angle with the hat and the earrings.
Yes! I don't know, what do you think? Oh,
Arr.
wait a hell of a minute. Yes, the one Lambo likes too. Can I comb it with my fingers for now?
Probably a brush would be better.
Yeah.
She didn't have one with her.
Maybe Peace can bring me a brush.
It looks awful, but she hasn't brushed it. At one point I cut it out, but she was like, you can see the black thing. Like, take the black thing off. It's not a wig cap. You don't need to have it on right now.
I'm gonna go get my package and I'll be right back. There! Lambo! Check it! Oh.
Once she brushes it and puts it on straight, it's not her worst choice when it comes to wigs.
Check. Just need a brush. But that I can get at Jean Coutu or somewhere down the street.
You wonder where her money goes. She got out to go to the mailbox, didn't want to walk upstairs, so wouldn't get her own brush, and now is going to buy a new one.
Or whatever it's called. You don't think my hair's coming back? I guess it's wigs. Wigs are us.
Probably at this point, I don't think her hair is coming back. Like, as someone who's dealt with hair loss after a certain amount of time, chances are it's not.
Alright guys, I'm gonna go for a little drive. So I'll see you later tonight.
Spoiler alert, didn't happen.
Positive, right? No?
When I turn on that camera and you catch Nada in the reflection of something or hear him behind the scenes, you're going to be positive, right? Because now it's all different.
Positive partying? I just want to be able to just turn on my camera anywhere and not have to hide from anybody and just enjoy life and just have a good time, a good summer.
Doesn't that sound positive? Yeah, no, I just want to do this. Here's the thing with her, when it comes to her telling the truth and just being honest with you guys, it's never out of a want to be honest. It's always because hiding the truth is too much like hard work and she's terrible at it. So she comes clean to not have to put the effort into not doing so. That's what happened last time and that's what happens this time. She just keeps looking for opportunities to be like, well, if he were here, well, if we were in a relationship, well, if I just turn the camera on and anyone's there, I want to be able to do it without judgment. And it's all just her trying to push him back into the limelight. And be accepted.
And I do want to also say, none of the men I've talked about are made up.
Fucking aren't they? Bullshit. How's Mo doing?
All of them are true. Okay.
Nope.
For real.
For real, nope. When she asks what lies she's told, clip this.
Cash and drugs. No.
Yeah.
It's not drugs. It's actually just cannabis.
I know. I try not to talk too much about her intelligence, but who's gonna tell her? Which one of you? Just
they
kind
did
of
leave me a
guys
message
are
at the
drunk.
center to call them back finally, so I have to do that. Probably, I guess, Monday now.
I'm sure that will happen. Mark your calendars on Monday. I want an update on how she's getting off cannabis. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. She did have another live stream after this where she just I didn't go. So she had intended to go. Nada clearly had plans to go out. She clearly had plans to join him based on the fact that he mentioned it and she was dressed up and she just wanted to turn the camera on and not be judged. But she didn't come back because apparently they didn't go. But she was awake at a morning time and seemed really tired. So she'd clearly been awake all night. So if they didn't go, then I'm guessing she went somewhere else with him. I'm not entirely sure, but something didn't go to plan and I'm sure we'll get the details of that later because she can't keep anything secret. So next time she's mad at him, she'll let us know. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.